I wouldn't say we had a close, loving relationship. We got along because we didn't have a close relation. It wasn't her fault. She was a wonderful sister. I was less than a wonderful brother,
No. Yeah.
which I regret. She was fantastic. I appreciate her now because she's no longer with us. But when she was with us, I didn't appreciate her the way I should have. That's because I was stupid, not because of her.
Yeah. Well, you know.
She was a great sister, and I was a bad brother.
Well, it's normal too, I think. You know, I have teenagers and they beat each other up and yell at each other and
Well, I don't think I beat her up, but
not beat
we
each
went
other.
our separate ways. And every way she had, she was superior to me.
Aw.
She was smarter, sweeter, and nicer. My dad adored her, and so did my mom. And they didn't have as much reason to adore me, but they were good parents to me as well. But they absolutely adored her, and so did everybody. I don't know anybody who didn't have good feelings about your mom. I don't know a single person ever that had any animus toward her. She was amazing.
Aw.
I miss her now more than I can tell you.
Aw.
I wish she was still with us.
Me too. More than you know. You can only imagine.
She had a difficult life, in my opinion, and I would love to make it up to her now.
Well, you are. She hears us.
I hope so.
She
was
does.
extraordinary. I don't know. I never met anyone like her, ever. Even this many years after she's gone, I still never met anyone like her.
Sweet.
She was great. She was the best sister I ever had.
That's saying a lot.
She had a piano in her room.
She did?
Yeah. She had a grand piano. At the beginning, we had an upright in the living room. But then later on, she got a grand piano, and it was in her room.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Must have been a good sized room.
It was bigger than mine, but it wasn't much bigger. We both had large bedrooms. We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment. My parents had one, and your mom and I had a bedroom apiece across the hall from one another. Hers was on the corner, so she had, what do you call it, cross exposure. She had a window on one side of the building and 2 windows on the other side,
Huh.
on different sides. She had the best room in the house.
Of course, she should have, right?
Absolutely, yeah. No, I'm happy that she did. She needed more space because she had a grand piano in her bedroom.
Wow. She played a lot, I guess.
That's all she did. Her music was her life. But when she went to music and art high school, they made her take up a second instrument, which was the viola, which you know about.
Yeah.
But until she went to music and art, all she did was the piano. Because very few people have that kind of affection for what their pursuit in life is,
Yeah.
to the degree that she did.
Yeah. That's nice. She was passionate then.
That was a good way to describe her feelings. Other than your Aunt Libby and your mom, I don't know anybody, personal experience, where music was such a fantastically important part of their lives.
Yeah.
They both woke up with their music and went to sleep with it. And they spent all their time, it seemed to me, music was number one.
Yeah.
It's fantastic people. My father loved music as well.
He did.
They took us to see all the great concerts in New York, mostly in the summertime. There was an outdoor musical venue in New York called Lewiston Stadium, and all the great musicians would perform there in the summertime. And my father and mother would take us to see them. I saw all the violinists, I saw them all.
Cool.
Yasha Heifetz, Misha Elman, all of them. I saw them all perform there.
Cool. My mother must have loved all that.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
her thing.
She was a musician too, not to the extent that your mother was, but she was very musical.
So your mother played what instrument? The piano?
Piano, but she played classical music.
On the piano.
I don't remember ever seeing my mother play any popular music on the piano. But she was a good musician, not like your aunt or your mother, but she was a good musician. We went up to the Catskills, usually for a few weeks every year. We went to a place called Dairyland, which was an obscure part of the Catskills area. And we stayed at a place for some years, and it was a dairy farm. But it was also a hotel, and it was a resort. It wasn't fancy or anything, but it was nice. They had something for everybody to do there.
Okay.
Yeah, we went there for many years, and other places too. A place called Lewitt's, I don't know, but it was. We went up to the Catskills, went to Coney Island a few times for the summer, the whole summer.
Wow.
Summer up on 29th Street, uptown, not down where all the amusements are, but up around 29th Street. And the rest of our family was up there. I don't think you know those people, but they were cousins of ours, and we spent the summer up there, a few summers up there.
Okay.
I was there when they had, you don't know about this, but there was a huge fire there. It was an amusement park area called Luna Park, Luna. It was the largest enclosed amusement park in the world.
Hmm.
And it was built in the 19th century. It was very big. And it was about 30 blocks from our house. And they had a fire there that it was a conflagration. It was like something you'd see in the movies. And it burned the whole park down. And I was right across the street from the park when it burned down. It was one of the most spectacular things I've ever witnessed.
So, Uncle Jack, when you went to these vacations, do you remember driving there? It wasn't a far
No,
drive?
I was 10 years old and your mom was 9. And then we went for a few years. And during the war was in 1941 to 45. I was from 10 to 15 years old at that time. And your mom was 2 years younger than I was.
But being so musical and loving music, so when you drove in the car, was she singing?
I'm sure
your mom?
she sang.
She
Yeah,
did?
I'm sure she sang. It was
Yeah.
great for her when we went to Coney Island because she had cousins that were her age. She could see them every day and play with them. I didn't have anybody to play with.
Oh, Uncle
The
Jack.
whole summer, which was okay. But I didn't make any friends and I had no friends. So I spent the whole time by myself.
So, do you remember when she brought my dad home to you?
She told me about him and she wanted me to meet him. And we went to this place in Queens. It was underneath the elevator train. And we had lunch. And that's where I met your daddy.
Okay. She must have been excited.
She was madly in love with him.